was Eric Hoffner who said that in times of change, the learners inherit the earth, and the learned are fully equipped for a world that no longer exists. Hello, everybody. My name is Quinn Sagis, and welcome to yet another episode of the Game Changers podcast. My guest today is a young man who has social entrepreneurship at heart. His name is Christopher Randy Walcott, and it's my privilege to introduce him to you. Hello, Chris. How you doing, man?
I'm amazing, brother. I'm in mint condition right now.
I like to hear that. That's what I like to hear, man. Beautiful, beautiful.
And yourself, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm great. I'm happy and grateful that you are on here today. I have been meaning to have you on, and you're finally here.
Hey, the pleasure is all mine, my friend. And definitely is indeed an honor being a part of this show.
Great. So let's get straight into it, man. Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a serial social entrepreneur. And my focus, my vision is to impact the lives of 1 million people spiritually, physically, and financially. That's truly my goal. I've been in this space of social entrepreneurship, I'll say about 15 years now. And my really true drive was to develop companies that will impact the community in a very positive manner. So these companies would now be able to give back to society through whatever business they have made. Because most businesses, they truly just focus on making money. My focus was to develop entities that will actually give back to society. So we are doing an amazing job over the last 5 years. I've developed 5 successful companies that has been helping and impacting people, not just through business, but through that social aspect of, giving persons another chance, giving persons an opportunity to make it through life, right? Each one reach one. I like to call it our pay it forward program.
Oh, beautiful. I like that a lot, man. And I know that, in business, social corporate responsibility is a big thing. And impacting lives of people is also an important thing. So I'm happy to hear that.
Absolutely, bro.
Now, for those who don't know specifically what social entrepreneurship is, tell them what exactly it is.
Sure. A social entrepreneur is someone who sees social ills in their society that create social problems that need social change. And to create that change, you need social ventures to battle these issues. So I was part of a program called Brother by My Side, where we go to battered boys and girls' homes and be that male influence in their lives, right? We help them with skill sets, developing them, their mindsets, as well as helping them through giving them IT skills, because we know information technology will always be needed.
For sure.
And that is something we want to equip them so they have an advantage when they come out in the real working world to make the difference that truly counts. And what I appreciate too is that during this process, we have been able to create a dynamic space for people to actually win, right? Is a winning formula. You got to be willing, you got to take the initiative, and you got to never quit. All right.
Wonderful, wonderful. And that's an amazing initiative. And, I'm seeing that your business is impacting the lives of people. I think that's a pretty interesting business model. All right, so let's go back in history a bit, man.
Sure.
Tell me where it all began for you. I like to learn people's why. Where did it begin for you? Maybe in your childhood? What part of your childhood or your early years influenced who you are today?
Well, just like everyone, I was born naked and upside down. All right. The truth be told, growing up, it was really tough, right? It was challenging, especially financially, right? I grew up working in the market with my mom. It was truly a experience that, looking back or looking forward today, I did not appreciate what I was going through then. But today I could tell you I appreciate that struggle, because without struggle, there is no success. Your current situation is not your permanent destination. And I made an impact in my mind. I made a clear focus that if it has to be, it's up to me. And with God, all things are possible. So from there, I started to focus on education in a big way, right? Because that's what we have been taught. Go to school, get good grades, get good education. And I
Mhm.
followed it to a T, right? The reality is I did not even have money to go to school, right? I had to work in a factory. I used to work health foods in Trinidad, that's in Morocco, St. Joseph. And for me to actually start school, I made a deal with the University of the Southern Caribbean to actually go through the process of me working and studying by them paying my tuition. So it was
Wow.
a process, early in the morning, carrying heavy bag of wheat on my back, going up a steps and coming back down with a heavy bag of granola. It was a struggle. And then going to school thereafter. Mind you, I was studying computer software engineering, and I did not even have a computer, right? I didn't even have a laptop to go to school. I used to have to go in the library to do programming. Many people don't know that, but thank God I made it through, and I have multiple degrees by the grace of God. Then I went onto a master's when I wasn't working, and I started to grow further and further from there. But that was just on the education side. What really got me focused on impacting people's lives is when I started to go and be a part of the Pathfinder Club, being in the community, doing different activities, and I got a love to make people smile. I gotta love to be able to impact a family by giving them a bag of groceries. And from there, just being involved in community activities, I actually got involved by being a youth member of parliament. I was actually selected to be a youth member of parliament for my community, and I was there being able to create policies that actually has helped pave the way for a lot of youth institutions today. Afterwards, based on my experience and the successes I would have gotten, I was selected to be the first global change maker out of Trinidad and Tobago. I was
Wow.
selected by the British Council. It was indeed an honor and privilege, and I could tell you, God just started to open a lot of doors for me. Man, I could go on and on, based on different ventures. I was actually a speaker at the Obama Summit, right? I was the only person representing the Caribbean there at the Obama Summit. And I was grateful to just be a part of that experience. I did short films on social inequalities, and things just started to progress from there. And what I saw that was a challenge was that I was doing all these things and was taking money out of my pocket, or I have to
Mhm.
depend on a grant or depend on someone to sponsor. And I said, here's what we need to be more sustainable. So I started to look at strategies and opportunities where persons could do such. And that is how I formed my NGO called the International Movement for Change, which seeks to develop social entrepreneurs. And here's where we fast forward today, that we are developing companies and we are partnering with institutions to give people another way, to show persons that they have the ability to create a dynamic future by impacting their mentality.
Beautiful. Wow. What a story, man. Now we see that you're not
Thank you, bro.
a combined night guy. You're somebody who knows what it is to struggle, knows what it is to live a difficult life, and then transform your life into something amazing. That's an amazing story. And also it helps you understand, why you want to see others win so badly,
Oh,
because you
yes,
know
brother.
what it is not to win, and now you want others to win. That's beautiful, bro.
It's always good to give back. That's how you show gratitude, right?
Beautiful.
Gratitude is the seed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, for sure. I like that, bro. Okay, so I know in collaboration with your social entrepreneurship, you're also heavy in the digital entrepreneurship space. Um,
Yes.
how do you get involved in that space, first of all? And why is it so important in today's age?
Well, how I got involved, great question. How I got involved in the space of digital entrepreneurship is that I was studying computer software engineering, and we were always programmed to do programs, right, to solve problems.
Right,
And in the digital space, right, we were always, that was our home, right? And the truth be told, I gravitated towards it. What I tell folks is that, you know, digital entrepreneurship is what all of us are involved in, but we just don't make money from it. Let me ask you, why is digital entrepreneurship so important? The question is to ask also, why is the internet so important? Right? We need the
right,
internet for every single thing in our lives. Hospitals, pharmacies, uh, businesses, the people who actually run the state. We all need the internet. That's how we're communicating right now. So from the dot com era, 25 odd years ago, to now we are in the metaverse era, right? Where persons are doing businesses digitally, right? Conducting meetings in the metaverse using Web3 tools. This is where we are today. And if you're not up to the times, you're not only going to suffer a digital divide, but a financial one as well. So that is why this space is so integral for us to win. We are the future.
Game Changers proudly supports Kids Health Creative, a publishing house encouraging children ages 4 to 12 to live healthy lifestyles, all while having good, clean fun. Get the latest book, Be Smart, at 10% off when you use promo code QUINST at checkout. That's QUINNST at checkout. Get yours today. Hello, everybody. I hope you're enjoying the episode. This episode was made possible through a platform called Riverside FM. It's a platform that I've grown to love, and it really does justice to creators. Unlike Zoom or other platforms, it records content locally and then uploads it to the cloud so you have a seamless video. If you are a creator and looking to get into this space, this is the platform for you. Click the link down below to get started today. Have you gotten your official Game Changers merch yet? If not, what are you waiting for? Get yourself a hip, trendy t-shirt or hoodie that is sure to turn heads. T-shirts only cost $55 EC and hoodies go for $120 EC. Highlight your inner game changer. Get yours today. Yes, sir. 100%. Yeah, and we live in a technical world, so I mean, it makes sense to get involved where the technicals are and become
Absolutely.
empowered in that space. So then, how do you actually help the people or businesses that connect with you? So you said who you help, but how do you help them?
Right? So one of the most important things I learned from one of my mentors, Bob Proctor, God rest his soul, he said, education is not expensive. Ignorance is. I'll say
Ah,
that again. Education is not expensive. Ignorance is. And sometimes we can be ignorant to the fact that people need the right form of education to get them out of their current situation. So we educate people with skill sets that could help them be able to create jobs from the comfort of their homes, empowering them so they do not need to depend on a job, right? Job, just over
Just
broke,
over broke.
right?
Yes, sir.
I'm not down on jobs, up on opportunities. And the opportunity we have here today is that regardless of what is going on in the situation in the world, regardless of what pandemic, regardless of what the government is doing, you could be able to have a skill set that can make you independent to provide for your family and to put food on the table. So we impact persons with the right knowledge, right? They say knowledge is not power. Some say knowledge is power. I don't fully agree with that. Knowledge is only power when applied, because we can share the right knowledge for you to get better in your health. But if you don't take the ingredients and apply it, you will not become better. And this is how we actually impact people, giving them solutions, giving them the ability to find a way out. So through our digital entrepreneurship platform, we actually educate persons now how to create businesses right from the comfort of their home, right? And the cool thing about it is that we have an educational platform, gives persons the ability to uh, learn about the NFT and metaverse space, learn about financial literacy, which I believe is extremely important, right, in today's world, learn about real estate and Airbnb. We also teach persons about how to create their own transportation business without owning any physical cars. And of course, digital advertising and marketing, right? These are some important skill sets that you could learn so you could earn on the go, so you could earn from wherever you are in the world. So we realize what is happening in the economic space, that people are so dependent on their jobs that if their jobs go, they also go. Right? They also fall by the wayside. We have created a space now where persons can create their own businesses and to be self-sufficient, self-sustainable. And that is what we need to be teaching our children today. How to become self-sustainable.
Yes, sir. So I'm seeing that you're highlighting, areas that are sustainable, areas that would help people expand their knowledge and tap into the potential of where the world is going, right? Because if
Absolutely.
you get left behind, you will never be able to catch up. I know there's a quote that you like in particular because I know you personally, Eric Hoffner, who said, "In times of change," and you can help me with the rest.
Yes, in times of change, the learners inherit the earth, while the learned are beautifully equipped for a world that no longer exists. And as we could definitely see what's happening with our world today, everything has literally upgraded. So what you used to do 10, 25 years ago has changed, right? One thing in life that is permanent is a word called change, and change is inevitable. So we definitely need to change with the times. Else we will be left by the wayside. You know, as I say, look at what happened to Blockbuster. All right, when Netflix came on the scene, persons gravitated to, hey, I could simply just watch my movies on the phone. Persons who used to have DVD stores, what happened to them today? Right, they are
Gone.
fading out. This is where we are today. Right? Guess what? Persons who didn't want to upgrade in the transportation industry, they are now being left behind. So we are grateful for the Wright brothers, right, who started that plane industry, and now things are definitely advancing where transportation is concerned, where healthcare is concerned, and where education is concerned as well. The way we conduct business is totally different from 25 years ago. So we gotta upgrade our skill sets so we could be able to have an advantage in this ever changing world.
For sure. Now, Chris, you spoke about the application of knowledge, right? Without the application
Yes.
of the knowledge, we will never be successful. But
Absolutely.
I know that it takes a mindset to apply that knowledge. Speak to the importance of a healthy mindset.
Very good. So we want to take that the angle of speaking about a healthy mindset from the word mentality, right? Me, when we break up the word mentality, we cut the word me. Me means you, right? You personally, right? Then we have tality, right? Mental. So we have me, which is you. Your mental, right, is your mindset. How do you impact your mindset is by what you're listening to. You are affected by your five senses: sight, smell, taste, touch, hearing. These are the doorways to your subconscious. So if you're not feeding your subconscious mind with the right information, because the subconscious mind doesn't know what to accept or what to reject. So your mentality is governed by your five senses. So if you're not managing what your senses are interacting with, you will be definitely opening yourself to accepting anything. And no, because you're accepting anything, you're not able to become that strong individual. Tality is, people, the person you are around. So you need to have the right mentality to be able now to be around the right people that will actually help uplift how your life experience is going to be. So mentality is so important as you go towards becoming the better version of yourself. You become what you think about. You become what you think about. Let's really think about that phrase, right? Those 6 words. Your thoughts are things. That really cool headphones you have on your ears was somebody's thought. And they crafted it into the physical aspect of our life, of our being. Look at the walls, right? That was somebody's thought. How to structure, right? How to design it. We wear people's thoughts. This jacket I have on was designed by somebody's thought. The design, right? Our thoughts are things. So if you want to change the things in our lives, we have to change the thoughts that we have. How do we change our thoughts? By our five senses, by our mentality. So every day I ensure before I get up, I put myself into a mindset of success. Before I touch my phone, right? Before I respond to any messages, I, do particular routines that will help my mindset to give me the success today. Right. So I pray. I thank God for life first. I give gratitude to God because He is from where all blessings flow. Gratitude, right? I have my signs that I have up in my room because I govern my mind to see the right things. The reason people have challenges getting a target because they don't see it. How could you go after something you don't see? Right? And we could go really deep into that, but definitely you need to position yourself to grow yourself, right? And that is where it comes to full circle your mentality, right? Some people don't believe in the saying, birds of a feather flock together. That is absolutely true. Look at your 5 friends. You're the average of your 5 friends. And that is absolutely true. If I did not change my environment, right? If I didn't change my internal environment first, my external environment would not have changed. So it's so important, your mentality.
Wow. There are so many snippets in that just small segment that I know our listeners had gems. I hope they have pen and pad, taking down notes because wow, that was powerful. Certainly powerful. All right, so Chris, we're moving on to our favorite segment here, the quick hitters segment. Quick hitters is a segment that will tell about Chris the person, at least a little bit more about Chris the person, your fun side.
Sure.
Right? And we'll get to know you on the lighter side. So what you like on the lighter side. All right?
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Great. So let's get into it. What type of music do you like to listen to?
I have about 5 genres I like to listen to, right? Legitimately, one, I listen to meditation music, right, to get myself and my mindset in a frame of mind for success. Two, I listen to gospel. Definitely, I'm a servant of the Lord. I love Jesus Christ, and I listen to gospel music to keep my mind upwards. Three, I listen to R&B. Right, I love smooth jazz. I love saxophone, and I have my genre where I listen to a little reggae, right? But there's certain types, right? And I have a beautiful wife, so I definitely listen to some good love music. Okay.
Yeah, yes, sir. You have to have it there.
Yes, yes, yes. That's important.
All right. So, my next question. I ask all my guests this question. Chris, Apple or Android?
I prefer Android. Why? One, I love community. I like the both devices, but I have more flexibility with Android. I'm a guy, I love flexibility. From almost any type of Android, I can transfer data and files. I could
Right.
communicate easily, right? The truth be told, majority of the world is Android, right? And there's a reason for that. Now, people love the exclusive community that iOS has, but soon they won't like it because of the subscription. They are coming with some model thereby persons have to pay for everything, right? So almost everything on the phone you have to pay for, right?
Right.
So people love ability to have that open flexibility. So I like my Android, good things. Right? I like my
Yeah.
note, right? My note. So it gives me what I could do, and that is why I really appreciate it, that openness.
Okay. Interesting. And I can hear the tech background coming in there. All right. And my final quick hitter question to you: who would you like to see on Game Changers?
I would definitely love to see my personal coach and mentor, Mr. Gary McSween. All right,
Wow.
he's a phenomenal leader. He's a pinnacle leader in my book. All right, a legend in the industry of direct sales and marketing. Um, and he would have helped shape a lot of financial decisions over the past 4 years. I've been being mentored by him, and I'm grateful because now I've been able to mentor other folks as well, show them different strategies and ways that they could grow themselves. Just like you, Quinn, it was a joy to guide you and help you along your journey. And I'm very proud of what I've seen you become. All right. And you have so much, not just potential, but you have so much to offer to the world. And they will see that light shine before men, that they will glorify your Father which is in heaven. All right. So definitely my mentor. He's a legend. All right. And he's a best-selling author. And now today we are on a vision to impact, empower, and enrich 1 billion families with our platform that we have here today to give persons a solution for this time. Yeah. So that's what I love to see.
For sure. For sure. And I whenever I ask that question, I encourage my guests to send me, link me, connect me to that person that you said. I would love to have Mr. McSween on here for sure. For sure. I would love to have a conversation with
Most
him.
definitely. I'll see if I could pull in a little favor for you there, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 100%. All right, so we're moving on to the
So
other segment, the final segment of our interview. I know that you're heavy in the financial literacy space. You like to teach people how to use their money and how to use it wisely. Why is financial literacy so important?
very good question. I think financial literacy is just like oxygen. You always need more income, right? You always need more flexibility. Because the truth be told, from primary school to tertiary education, we have never been taught financial literacy. Why is that? It's because there are certain systems in place that is to keep persons on a particular level, right? Why is some people rich and some people poor? Because the rich and wealthy have goals and the poor and middle class have jobs. But we are not taught how to navigate from one side of the spectrum to the next side. We are not taught how to manage our finances. We are not taught how to be good stewards of the blessing God has given us. And that is why financial literacy is the only thing that could save people from being in continuous debt, from being in the continuous rat race, right? So we teach persons, right, how to come on the rat race to make their passive income overshadow their expenses. And that is so integral. Why there are so many people who are struggling today? Because they were not taught financial literacy, proper ways of budgeting, proper ways of how to manage your expenditure. And this is integral. That is why, you know, over 80% of the people in the world are in debt.
I always said, people like to misquote the Bible. The Bible never says that money is the root of all evil, The Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. In other words, if you hold money and you don't use it to impact others, or you love money, or money is your central focus and not people, you lose it, and that's not good financial literacy. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I agree.
Yes, sir. I really like, where this interview has gone, Chris. And I am seeing that you are impacting lives like you've impacted mine. But when people listen to this interview, I know they'll want more. They'll want to hear more from you. So how can people get in contact with you?
They could get in touch with me on most social platforms, Instagram, Facebook. They could just simply search for my name, Christopher Randy Walcott, LinkedIn, and definitely you could connect there through my website as well. And you have the ability to interact where we could create something very dynamic for you based on your particular situation. Right? 2023 is your year of miracles.
Beautiful. And we'll definitely leave the links down below as usual. So you can get contact with Chris very quickly. Okay, my final question to you. A young person is watching this interview and was inspired by you and wants to become just like you. What advice will you give to that young person?
One is to actually know why. Why? Your top 5 whys is important. Why do you want to become like me? Right? I would tell people always go higher, right? Go better that high, because is not I but Christ. I could tell persons that they have the ability to go beyond what they see. So if you want a target, that's great. But I will always help you to aim for higher. So the first step you want to do in setting your goals, right? Write down your top 5 whys, right? The second step is to write down your top 5 goals, right? Your whys is different from your goals. Your whys is something that will make you not quit on your process to becoming a better version of yourself, on your process to really accomplish your goals. Your goals is really your targets, right? If you do not write down your goals, how do you see what you want to go and attain? So there's something very special in what I just said there. What I encourage persons is to be specific when they're setting their goals, right? Most goals may not already have a time attachment to it, but you want to be specific, and have something that is time bound as well. That is how you can actually hit it in a particular time, and that is definitely needed, right? Other thing is get a coach and a mentor. You need a coach and a mentor. You need someone who has gone the path before. Regardless of what a field of business you are in, you need a coach and a mentor. You do not need to burn to learn. The persons who would have already went through that process. All right. So A mentor and a coach is the shortcut, right? Leadership is the shortcut. Get someone who's a leader who could actually guide you step by step and help you on your pathway to success. That is what I will share with persons who, want to get involved in this space, in the industry of entrepreneurship, and even more so, becoming the best version of yourself.
Yes, sir. Beautiful advice. Beautiful advice, man. And like I said, I will encourage our viewers and our listeners to download this episode on Spotify or whatever streaming platform that you listen to and get a notepad, literally get a notepad and write out the information that you've heard here. And I'm 100% sure it will impact your life in ways that you cannot imagine. Chris, I do thank you for coming on. You, like I've said earlier on, are an impactful person to me. You have impacted me, and I know you will continue to impact others.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Don't stop being yourself. Never stop being yourself. And continue to push the status quo and change the status quo for what it means to be an entrepreneur and a youth leader in today's age.
Thank you, brother. And, these sentiments is all shared as well. Continue aspiring. Don't give up. Don't quit. Go until. That is the word for 2023. Until. All right. This is the year of miracles. But you will have challenges. You will have trials. Right. But there is no triumph without trials. Right. It's definitely needed. And I'm excited for you, bro. I'm very proud of what you're creating here on Game Changers, and even more so, the impact that you're making, right? You may not know the impact that you're making until you start to realize, wait, hey, I reach episode 100. I reach episode 1000, right? It is a continued process, right? Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Continue having the right ideals, right? Put God first. And I already seen you as an international leader, not just in St. Lucia, but all over the world, my friend. All right. It is already done for you. And anyone who is, in your space, they are blessed. And guys, connect with Quinn. He has some amazing things coming, right? To impact his community. So I'm excited. I'm fired up because it is already done. 2023 is the year of miracles, right? Love, win, victory.
Amen. Amen. I love that, bro. I felt like I was in church, man. This was yet another episode of Game Changers. And to thank you guys, as usual, for coming on. Remember to like, subscribe, not just on YouTube, but on all streaming platforms. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. You will be able to get this episode as well. And remember, as I said earlier on, to download the episode and have a listen on the go when you're going to work. Impact your day early. Anyhow, as usual, stay hungry, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.